Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Hmm. Hmm. Hey, yo, what's up, Red Kid? Hmm. Red Kid, I feel the same exact way. Feel the same exact way. I thought we was gonna go a little bit higher. I scaled into this position, and it looks like my scaling could get stopped out on this one. Yes, I could get stopped out, but it looks like it wants to, but we just got this 200 EMA in the way for right now. This long-term EMA is in the way. And we're starting to see the bears try to sell at it, but I mean, they're holding this line up, so I mean, we got a double bottom right here. So we got the bears pushing price lower, pulling back to the 21 EMA, failing to take out this low. They're pulling back again. So we got the bears breaking structure to the downside, pulling back to the EMAs, trying once, trying twice, but they made a lower high. They made a lower low. They tried again, but this time they made a higher low. And now they're trying to sell off the 200 EMA. And we're not seeing any follow through. So we have 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4th attempt for them, for the bears. So how I like to envision it is we have 4 layers of sell stops above this high. So I'm making the bet that we could see a potential breakout here. That's the bet I'm making. Now I guess it could go lower. I guess the Nasdaq hasn't decided which side of the market it wants to fuck yet. So that's probably why we're getting all this chop. Gold and freaking silver. I'm looking at both of those markets right now, and it looks like silver wants to break out, but it looks like gold wants to just kind of stay in this range a little bit. It seems like it doesn't want to do anything right now. Gotta stop doing that. Yeah. Gold is just kind of in this range right here. It's been trading in this range. So basically price has just been consolidating in a range so far. So we have what, sell side liquidity up here, buy side liquidity down here. I mean, we did see a break of structure. We kind of saw a pullback, 2-legged pullback into support. We saw the leg higher. It just got rejected at the double top. So this is a double top rejection after a 2-legged pullback, double top rejection. So it is highly likely that we do see a break of structure here on gold. It is highly likely. Will it happen? Shit, I don't know. But under normal circumstances, this would probably be a break of structure to the downside. But who knows, man. I feel cheated by silver. I was waiting on this entry all freaking day on silver. And Top Step cut my position off at 310. So I had to accept a small loss because it climbed up, and then it had the nerve to drop and hit my target at the open of the session after Top Step closed out the position. It traded to the downside. It hit my target at the start of the session. Then we popped right back up. Silver's formed this range right here where we've seen a breakout. I'll trade a pullback on this one, but man, That would be a tough pullback trade. That would be tough. That would be tough, man. I feel like I wouldn't have enough room to get my target hit. But yeah, I feel like I wouldn't have enough room to get a target hit. I mean, we did see a break of structure to the upside, turn into a range. We saw another break. I mean, do we see? Do we see the break, or do we see the pullback? Do we see the bulls hold the pullback here? And do we see at least a retest of the highs? Or I don't care if it retests highs. I just wanted to hit my target. I don't give a fuck what it does. I just want my target hit. Are you in anything right now, Rutkit? Yo, congratulations, Cave Trader. Congratulations. Payout Cave. Yeah, what's up, Investor Z? All right, so it looks like we're getting some movement in the right direction. This is what I like to see. Oh, wow. I was about to say, I was like, what happened to all that gamma levels that we saw earlier today? So, I mean, if I bring your attention over here to the gamma levels, I mean, we do got this big gamma level at 600. We do see this big drop. I mean, we are now in a negative environment. So they say when the gammas are negative, what is it? You sell the rip? You sell the rips and don't buy the dips. Sell the rips and don't buy the dips. We did have a strong move down earlier today. I don't know if that was just a over exaggeration by the market. If Nancy Pelosi hasn't bought up Nvidia. The greatest investor of all time, her and her husband, apparently. All right, so let's see if we can break the session high. Let's see if we can actually break this long-term EMA right here. Knowing the market, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they did. According to Smith and according to Alfred. This is what actually happened the last time with Nvidia, where we saw a big push on the earnings, and then during the next session, we saw the market actually give up the entire move. And you know what? We kind of have to be mindful of that, man. We kind of have to be mindful. Just because we're seeing a big move to the upside doesn't mean that the move is going to be sustained, especially if it's trading into, previous areas of supply. So we just got to be kind of mindful of that. We just have to be mindful of what the market is doing. I mean, yesterday, I didn't see anything. I mean, I didn't see anything. Actually, you know what? Actually, yeah, okay. All right, well, I guess that's my fault. I mean, honestly, if I just kind of look at the Nasdaq and just stop kind of trading it and just look at the hourly or something like that. I mean, it was kind of obvious that we was going to see that move down, because if you look at the hourly chart, let's go to an hourly chart of the Nasdaq. Look at the hourly. I mean, obviously in hindsight, because I didn't take the damn short. I wanted to go long. But in hindsight, look at what the hourly did. All it did was swept the liquidity above this range before this breakout, and we just saw a two-legged pullback into resistance, double topped at these highs, and then we saw the sell-off. So I mean, I believe it's highly unlikely that we see a reversal. We could see probably a bounce back into maybe a fair value gap. I mean, I think there's a fair value gap right here. No, it's not. This candle right here mitigated this gap. So I guess it was a fair value gap right here. So there was a fair value gap right there. But then the market came back in and tapped into it. And then we're seeing the rejection. There was actually a fair value gap that the market tapped into on the hourly that I was like, wow, how the hell did I miss that? Let me see if I can find it. It was on my trading view chart. And or is that an order block? Maybe I'm looking at the wrong area. Okay, never mind. So apparently, $8.19.25, $8.19.25. 964. Oh, I'm looking on the wrong time. I was like, dude, why am I? Anyway, I was looking at the wrong time. Okay. So 964. 249. So yeah, so there's like a 5-minute fair value gap that the market tapped into today. And when I came back and looked at it, I was like, wow. There is that 5-minute fair value gap right there. And so shit, if you took the fair value gap trade today, man, not only did you catch the bottom, I mean, but it double tapped right into that. And now we're seeing the market push a little bit higher. So I think so. If this is the hourly fair value gap right there, we kind of already saw the market tap into it a little bit. I think we could possibly see 135, at least of the halfway mark of it, because we got the rejection at the bottom of the range. I'm pretty sure that the 50% is like it's like a likely target, a likely area where we're going to see a bunch of sellers. And I guess we'll go from there. What's up, Katie? So, all right. I mean, so far so good on this trade. Like, this is actually a scale in. I actually caught the bottom. Actually, just following my rules, man. I share with you guys that I have a round target that I usually use. It's the 575. So if I want to get in at 93 or 94, I round it out to. Well, it really depends on the situation, but for the most part, I like to get in at that 575. And I damn near caught the bottom of this thing. Got a nice move higher, scaled into it, and the market's been kind of nasty to me a little bit. But we can finally get this scale in target. Because I would get in the profit and then almost hit my stop, and now I'm back in the profit. Hopefully we can see the follow through. We can grab this target right here. And this is the runner from the original position, so we'll see. We'll see. Let me take a look at gold. I mean, it still hasn't. I mean, gold hasn't presented any opportunities yet. It's kind of interesting that gold, out of all the instruments right now, is the one that's actually we're not necessarily seeing any real movement. I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt right now because I thought about getting in at that 15 level like we did this morning. Or actually that 15 level that we tried to get into last night, actually. Last night's stream. And it rejects at 15.9. And I was considering getting back in at 15.3, but at the time, gold appeared bullish. So I didn't want to kind of get in and kind of fight the momentum, but I see now that I should have just taken the trade. Hey, what's up, Alfred? No, I'll just wait until tomorrow. I didn't take the setup tonight. I'll just wait until tomorrow. I'm not gonna try to force anything on gold. I'm not gonna try to force anything. I do see that the market kind of is leaving this range right here. I am aware of this. I do see that the market tapped into that range, and we're starting to see the market kind of trying to expand from that range. But what I don't like about this is that this entire move is in a range. And my only concern is that I won't have the room to get a target field, a 13-point target field. So, okay. Well, I guess we'll just focus on the Nasdaq trade tonight. It looks like we're getting that breakout. We finally broke that long-term EMA. Right now, price is tapping into those 4 layers of stops. If you're just joining, we got this big move down. We got the bears trying once, twice, 3, and this is the 4th attempt of trying to sell this market down. And as you can see that we made lower lows here, but we made lower or higher lows, and now we're starting to see the bears get stopped out. We got 4 layers of sell side liquidity that the market is just now tapping into. So I'm pretty confident that we can get this target filled unless the Nasdaq is going to be nasty here. There's really nothing in the way. There's really no reason why the Nasdaq shouldn't fill this target, but it is the Nasdaq, so I'm pretty sure she'll try to find a way. Or you can try to find a way to hit that target though. Hey, what's up, Tony Gold? What's up? Sometimes, it's like, well, it's right there. And that shit tapped it perfectly. It tapped it perfectly. Okay. So you think so? Yeah. I'm trying to front run the front run here because I really wanted to target up here around 65, 70. This is what I really wanted to target, but I want to get that target off. So, and then my other target is I'm front running the 50%. So I mean, like, well, shit. If it doesn't get to at least the 50%, I'm front running that. So this is the 50% of the initial balance at 120. I'm front running that 50% at by 10 points. Man, if this thing misses it, I'm gonna be like, okay, Nasdaq. All right, fine. But I will say, man, who knew that just trading with smaller size was actually the man, I didn't even go tilt yesterday. I mean, how many trades did we lose yesterday? We had that big winner initially, and then I tried to fight the trend, and then I lost all my gains. And I ended the session down about $700. But even though I had those trades go against me, not one time did I thought, man, I need to trade on tilt and try to get my money back. And I was actually motivated to come back during the next session and try to find, good setups to make the money back. And I was able to find a good setup earlier on. So I was like, huh. Was it the size the entire time? Another thing that I've noticed is that I hate saying this though, because it makes me kind of sound like I'm scared of the market, but I'm not coming into the next session thinking like, oh man, I mean, will today be the day where I lose the account? I mean, I haven't felt that way. I haven't had the cortisol, the anxiety, the imagining myself blowing up the account because I'm trading on tilt. I feel centered. I feel emotionally in control. I'm managing my risk. I'm accepting losses. So, I mean, I guess this whole time it wasn't my discipline. It wasn't me being incapable of following my rules. It was just the idea that if I lost, the loss would have been so, it would have been such a big loss that my nervous system just wouldn't been able to accept it. So I had to, I'm not trying to outsmart the market anymore. I mean, I'm literally just taking my setup. I'm setting my limits and I'm not even watching it. I don't even care about the outcome no more. I'm just taking my trade. I'm just taking the setup and that's it. That's all I'm focusing on. And we're going to manage the trade from there. And it's like, man, it's such a different feeling. It's so different. Dude, it feels like that, Rugkit. Yeah, what's up, Steve? It feels like that. Yeah, investors. Yeah, it is relaxing. It's like, man, I haven't. Dang. Because if you're trading size that your account can't necessarily handle, the wins don't feel good because it's like, man, the whole time you was holding your breath until it hit the damn until you got yourself out of the position, thinking like, man, what happens if it comes back and stop me out? I mean, the loss will be just too big for the account. And something else has happened. Like, dude, it's like now I'm thinking in percentages. Like, it's like, dude, where did all this shit come from? It makes me like, dude, it really makes me think like all this stuff was already there, but it was just being overshadowed by the possibility of getting my stop hit and me trading on tilt and then me losing the account. And with all those variables in constant motion, I guess, my mind did not have the capacity to think this way. But now that I've reduced my size to a 4 contract position, micro position, I only lose 200 and I think it's like $16, maybe 50. Let's just round it up to $250 per loss. And I'm thinking strategically, I'm seeing the market like, dude, it's like, man, what the hell's going on? I feel like, dude, I really feel like I can do this now. Very interesting feeling. Very interesting. Hey, I believe in you, Tony. Do you already know what kind of trade you're taking tomorrow? What's your setup that you're looking for? Yeah, me personally, I'm definitely moving away from the orb and focusing more on the initial balance. I find that the orb is hit or miss. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. Depending on your trade style. I know Cave Trader has a big stop, so those little sweeps that it likes to do doesn't affect him. But if you have like a shorter stop, or a tighter stop, those little sweeps can definitely take you out of the trade before the actual move happens. But I find that the initial balance trade, like I've said last Sunday, is an ecosystem of setups. I mean, you can take so many setups with this, man. So many setups. I mean, this is the initial balance. You can take the 50% trade. You can take the failed breakdown of it. I mean, basically, if you almost double bottom, literally at the initial low, the initial balance low, you could have took that trade. You can take the break of the 50% and the pullback. I mean, there's so many trades that you can take with the initial balance that this is what I'm going to focus on moving forward. We know that the initial balance high is going to probably be a hot spot if we see price. So either we're going to see price fail and then trade right back into the range. Probably a 50% trade is probably a high probable trade tomorrow, or we're going to see price run through it and then we can trade the pullback trade. I mean, it's an ecosystem of setups, and I think if you're going to trade the Nasdaq, that is the time that you should focus on. I wouldn't trade Asia unless you got a decent position. Or the only time that I'm going to find myself trading the Nasdaq is if the setup from the previous session just happened in Asia. Like if it's like a breakout before the session ends and then it pulls back in Asia, then I'm taking that trade. But a setup that's happening solely in Asia with the Nasdaq, yeah, I'm not gonna take that trade, because usually metals should be your focus when you're trading the Asian session. But gold is kind of being, I guess the move kind of already happened on gold actually. I mean at 7 o'clock. Yes, I mean the market kind of chopped, and we saw that the move at 707. So this was the Asia Open right here. We had this move higher into previous supply. So yeah, he's sticking with the initial balance in the orb tomorrow. Yeah, and tomorrow, so tomorrow is actually the last trading day of February. So we know that the last trading session of the month is usually very volatile. We're going to see some very abnormal movement from the market tomorrow, because we all know that the institutions that move these markets, they have monthly quotas, and the traders that are maybe a little bit behind, they're going to try to make their money before the end of the month. And on top of it being the end of the month, it's Friday, so we're definitely gonna see either a whole lot of volatility, or we could potentially see the market just kind of chop. I mean, I doubt it, but I mean that could be a possibility. If we kind of look at the order flow for yesterday, we have some more puts. I mean, they wrote their puts right here, so they're looking for the market to go higher, unless they've sold out of these. When I'm looking at the flow, I am aware that some of this stuff it could come in, and then the market could, or the participants could be selling out of them. Like if they're buying it at 6:00. Let me see. So 626 strike. Anyway, yeah, I'm not looking at that. I mean, a lot of this could be them buying puts and then selling puts. We just never know. But for the most part, we're starting to see probably people sell themselves out of their puts, or we're seeing puts being written. We're seeing a lot of puts being written. So either these are people selling their puts or buying premium. So that could be a potential indication that we could see a move higher tomorrow. We're seeing, you see all these puts being written right here. You got a few calls being written, but we're seeing a lot of puts getting written. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do here is hopefully I can get this first target hit. That would be nice. That would be nice if I could get this first target hit before the end of the stream. That would kind of be nice. And honestly, what I might actually do is actually, depending on what happens towards the end of the stream, I really don't want to leave too much size. I'm probably take those 2 contracts before I go to bed. I'll have one contract to run overnight, and I think that's how I'm gonna rock with this one. That's how I'm gonna rock with it. Ooh. Yeah, I would have to actually see that. I would have to actually see it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the Nasdaq is gonna do. Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't. Why not? Hmm. Um. Okay, I guess this is what I guess I'll do. I cancel these orders. Split the baby on this. Man, that's yeah, okay. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Or that's what I'm. If I don't, well, I'm probably not. I'm not gonna take the profits. So I'm gonna wait for my target. I'm gonna wait for the target, but I guess if it does break that, if it breaks those lows, you can see a sell stop run lower. All right, I'm not gonna mess with this position anymore. I'm not gonna think about this position anymore. Just gonna let it play out. I just noticed that I was overthinking about this position. I was thinking about ways of how the market could potentially find a way to stop me out. And as I was thinking about it, I was considering making adjustments. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to adjust nothing. Let the trade play out. Something just realistic. Not really realistic. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Mm. 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 I did. Man. You know what? I think that's probably a better gauge, a better measurement. Better measurement right there. That's only like 30 points. I did it like at 95. I did it at 95. And yeah, I would be in the trade. Yeah, I'll be in it. That trade would have been towards the end of the day. I'm not even looking at the charts at that time. All right, looks like we're seeing some movement. Something that I like seeing right now is that the market is holding up on the short and medium term EMA. We got the short term EMA above the medium term EMA. We're starting to see the market begin to curve. And we got this cross right here too. So I like that. I like that the cross happened. I like that price is holding that short and medium term EMA. I like how the bears failed the short at the long term EMA. And we could potentially see price shoot up higher here. So we'll see. You can see that the bears tried to double top here at the current session high right here. They tried to double top right there. But that's not. Well, I mean, we get a close underneath these EMAs, and that kind of changes things. That's kind of something that we don't want to see here. I don't want to see price get right back underneath those EMAs. All right, so, all right, I got to close that position out. I don't mind. I don't mind. Oh, actually, is it 5 minutes? Hmm. So I don't mind actually holding a position. So if I'm waiting for something, I don't mind doing it during the day, but I'm definitely pulling orders at night. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I leave a limit order overnight and I'm constantly waking up trying to check on the position to see if I got filled or if the profit target got hit or if my stop loss got hit. So I'm definitely not going to leave anything overnight. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep anything overnight. Cause like during the London session, I don't know what's happening out there in London, but I mean the price action just is it's just wonky overnight. Sometimes my setups work perfectly, but it gets wonky. Around that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock time frame. Uh, every time I back test over the weekend, and I'm not necessarily looking at the time. I'm just focusing on the setup. And I'm like, man, my setup wouldn't have worked here. And then I look at the time, and most of the time, my setups are not working in London. So I don't know what they got going on over there. Why they don't like setups, or at least they don't like my setup. But they don't like my setup. Damn. So hold on, I thought that's interesting. So Motive Wave is a standalone platform. If you choose Motive Wave for any of the firms that you choose to trade with, it doesn't offer a Motive Wave license that you can use. You said that the lockout on trade C does work? Really? No, are you talking about not the lockout for the session, the lockout for the risk settings? Is that what you're referring to? Because that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the lockout for the risk settings, not the lockout for the session. I rarely use that function. The only time I'm locking out the session is if the system doesn't automatically lock it for me. But I mean, we can look again. There it is. Yeah, so I'm aware that there's a lockout feature right here, a personal lockout for the account. But I'm not going to use this if I'm on tilt. I mean, that's just not going to happen. What I'm looking for is to have this locked out. Yeah. Yeah. So Lone Wolf, you're saying that, so that's interesting. Because I know with Rhythmic you can only have one connection. So I mean, initially I brought the Rhythmic connection for the Trade C platform, but I'm not going to use it for the Trade C, so I used it for Quant Tower. I mean, it didn't tell me. I didn't necessarily pick a platform. I chose the Quant Tower platform, but I can come here and log into that same account and trade C with my Rhythmic connection as well. So, I mean, maybe your setup was different. I just know that for my setup, they just gave me the credentials, and I can use it for Quant Tower. I can use it for Trade C. I can use it for what's that other Rhythmic connection that they got? Let's look at that. So yeah, so they have Motive Wave and Quant Tower are both Lucid partners. Multi Charts, R Trader. Okay. Oops. I mean, from my understanding, I can use my Rhythmic connection to kind of to use it on any platform. I didn't choose a platform. They just gave me the connection. So I mean, I don't know if it's different. I don't know. But they just gave me a connection. If I go to my dashboard, it doesn't say what platform I'm using. It just says that it just gives me my connection. And yeah, so if I go to my dashboard, yeah, and I go to my show credentials, all it says is that the platform that I'm using is Rhythmic, and it gives me my Rhythmic username and my Rhythmic password, and that's it. Yeah, you can only have one connection at a time. You can only have one connection at a time with Rhythmic. I think the only way to do it with multiple platforms, I think, let me see. So if I open up our trader, let me try to open it up. Yeah, so I think it's this one that allows it to but then I honestly I don't know. Okay. Yeah, honestly, it's well, the last time I used a Rhythmic connection was with Apex. And I think that was back during what COVID. So it's been like what 6 years since I used Rhythmic. Obviously, that I don't think any firm except for Lucid right now. I'm pretty sure there's well the off-brand firms, but I know Tradeovide doesn't have Rhythmic. I know Apex no longer has a Rhythmic. Or maybe they no. Does Apex still have it Rhythmic? No, I don't think so. Obviously, Top Step doesn't have it. My Funded Futures doesn't have it, or at least actually let me shut up real quick because maybe they do. I just don't. I don't. Maybe they do. Yeah. Okay. So they still got Rhythmic. Okay. Honestly, yeah, I'm never doing this. I typed in Rhythmic and all the influencers are popping, their videos are popping up. Don't worry, I would never do this. I'm not here to promote anybody else's brand. I'm not here to do that stupid shit. Oh, actually, that's not stupid. I didn't mean to say that. I'm just not here to promote nobody else's brand. Yeah. Okay. Have they given you a time frame on when they're gonna switch it, Lone Wolf? And you know what, Red Kit? Oh, when Top Step was first talking about rolling out Project X, and they were planning on moving away from the other platforms, and we made a prediction because if anybody is familiar with Top Step before the change, when they had 3 phases, like, you know, honestly, Top Step seems to always have done things the more difficult way. Like, they had like these weird rules that they just kind of be like, yeah, just accept it and take it. Take that. Like, everybody else had a scaling plan except for Top Step. They said that either you're going to trade 5 micros or you're going to trade 5 minis on the 50K. And they didn't scale, which was kind of weird. It kind of felt like they kind of wanted you to be in minis. Either you were in minis and you risked blowing the account, or you was in micros and the 150Ks had a decent amount of micros. I mean, I guess on the 100Ks you had 10 micros, but back in those days you had to make $25,000 to get a payout before you even thought about a payout. So nobody was trading with micros really back then. I feel like, and then the market wasn't as volatile, so trading with micros way back then was a waste of time. Like, it literally was a waste of time. Now you can trade with micros, make at least $500 because the market moves. But before then, the market wasn't even moving like that to be traded with micros for real. Top Step had 3 phases. Actually, 5 or 4 phases. You had the initial test, the end of day drawdown, the trailing drawdown, and then you had the $5,000 buffer that you had to get past. So you had 3 phases to get through. And then once you got above that $5,000 buffer, then anything above that you could get paid out on. But when they moved to Top Step X, we assume that in order to incentivize traders to going to Top Step X, they actually added the scaling for only the Project X platform. They had other platforms and they would not budge on allowing traders to trade micros. Yeah, he did. Yep. Yep. Dude, like, it's crazy. Like, Smith, man, he's such a great trader, man. For whatever reason, Smith did better in heavily restricted accounts than accounts that allowed you to use free will. They, like Apex, they give you all those contracts, and it's basically giving you the rope to hang yourself. Either you're going to trade professional and you can potentially get a payout, or you can gamble, which we also don't care, and you'll just keep buying accounts, because with Apex, the way that they got it set up, it's like it's automated. I mean, everything is like, no matter what decision you choose to do in Apex, at the end of the day, they win. No matter how much you gamble and get that windfall trade and pass the account, they have a 30% consistency rule on the funded side. So you can't have those windfall trades anymore. So if you pass the account with a windfall trade, and now you're trading under a 30% consistency rule, and now you're also trading under a 30% drawdown rule, anybody that quote unquote brute force their way or gambled their way to a past account, to a PA account, they're going to lose it, or they won't receive a payout, because You have to have a 30% consistency. You're trading under a 30% consistency rule. So I mean, Apex don't really care what you do, as long as you keep buying accounts. But for whatever reason, because Top Step had all those restrictions at that point in time, he just did better in those accounts. So I was like, dude, like, what the like, what are you doing? Like, how is it that you're doing better in the Top Step account, but in these other accounts, it's hit or miss? He was like, I guess I must trade better under like these restrictions, because you had to remember he had to make $18,000 just to get to the funded stage, and then you got to make $5,000 on top of that. Yeah, man. Yeah, it is. My favorite account of all time was the U Profit Original Freedom account. Man, if I still had that Freedom account, they probably would have found a way to get rid of it. But I think that's the best account that came out. It was a daily payout account. It had $5,000 of static drawdown. One phase, you make I forgot how much you make. I think it was like a 1-to-1 account. Either you lose the 5,000 or you make 5,000. I think you had to trade 5 days or something like that, or 10. I think it was like a 10-day account or 5-day account. I really don't remember. You had to make $5,000, and then you had $5,000 of static drawdown. I absolutely enjoyed those accounts. If I had an account like that available to me right now, I would take full advantage of it. Full advantage of it. But back then, I was gambling the Nasdaq, and I definitely abused that static drawdown. I definitely abused it. Uh, mm. I'm about to turn a leaf. All right. Yeah, I'm not doing none of that shit. Okay. Hmm. Well, hopefully the Nasdaq. I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave this position going overnight. The position's small enough to where I don't necessarily. Excuse me. I don't. I'm not gonna be too upset if the Nasdaq chooses to be nasty and comes back and stops me out. I'm not gonna be too upset. I'll just tell myself I'll just get that money back tomorrow. I should at least get that first target hit though. I should get that target hit. Yeah, I should get that one hit. Yeah, it always seems to be like that. So I mean, I guess I mean, Actually, let's look at the volume real quick, because maybe look at the volume, because obviously the market is having a hard time getting above the current session high right now. So let's look at the volume. All right, so I mean, right now there's only 146,000 contracts being traded on the MNQ. Honestly, is Motive Wave, in your opinion, worth it? What do you like about Motive Wave? Because when I look at it, I don't see anything of worth. What do you find valuable about this platform? Is similar to QT? Yeah, so yeah, I don't know, man. Me, this would be an easy pass for me. I don't like how it looks. All right, okay. So what are those features that they don't have? I tried to get into the footprint charts. I know that Quant Tower also has footprint charts. I don't know, man. I don't think I'll be able to use this in real time. It's good to look at, or at least for me, it's good to look at when the candles are pinned. It's like, oh man, look at that trade. I definitely would have taken that if I saw it. Yeah, right. But these are TPO charts, right? I think I could trade TPO charts in real time. It's just the footprint charts. I don't know if I'd be able to use that in real time, because it's like why? It's, would you trust the information that's being presented to you on the moment? Like if this is a TPO chart, I would trade this because it's structure. I trust structure over anything. This right here, I don't know about this. I don't know if I can trust that. Okay. So tick per time frame, huh? He says it's laggy sometimes. Hmm. Okay. See, whichever platform makes you feel like a professional, I would always recommend using that platform. Like I said, the Quant Tower makes me feel like a professional, so that's kind of why I grab it. I always try to get a Quant Tower account whenever possible. And this revelation actually came to me earlier today, but it's been so long since I've used Rhythmic, I forgot that you can actually go into the R Trader and actually set the daily loss limit. But I mean, I can still kind of go in and change it, but that would require me to disconnect from Quant Tower, reconnect to R Trader, log in, and then change the settings. And I think that's enough of Roblox to where it's like, okay, dude, like if you're logging out of Quan Tower, logging in the R Trader, putting in your credentials, logging in, going to the risk settings tab and adjusting it. If none of those roadblocks stopped you, then I mean, you might need to sit down and talk to somebody, or at least I would need to sit down and talk to somebody. I'm doing all that. Really? Oh my god, dude. Dude, they're trying to put a price tag on everything, man. It's like, dude, the world has gotten so addicted to fees. Like, dude, it's like, yeah, because you breathe too hard, it's gonna be a breathing too hard fee. Like, come on. Come on. Something like a connect, like, dude, I'm paying for a connection. It made me think about paying for a convenience of using my credit card versus using a money order or cash or some shit. I'm being charged a convenience fee. And that's what that sounds like. It's convenient for me. How dare it be convenient and free at the same time, right? How dare it? Yeah, okay, I think I'm good. I mean, like, I think I'm good. I'm gonna give this thing like 3 more minutes and then I'm going to bed, man. I'm not gonna sit up and wait on the NQ. She was like, yeah, let me grab Sherm by the hands and shit, even though I'm about like what 16, 20, yeah, 16 points away from his target. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be here all night. She ain't about to grab me by the hand. You don't scare me no more, Nasdaq. You don't scare me no more. I'm using the cheat code right now. Shit, Gold will grab you by the hands if you let her. And she'll shamelessly grab you by the hands too. Shamelessly. It's like, oh, let's go. Let's go. She'll have all that momentum, make you get in, and then she'll slow down. It's like, gotcha, bitch. Gotcha. Gotcha. So, if you don't close out of this position, and then she'll go right underneath your break even and just sit there. It's like, what you going to do? What you going to do? You going to close the position in red, or are you going to wait for me to pop back up above that break even? What you going to do? You know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to close it. Because she's like, yeah, you close that position if you want. As soon as you close it, I'm going to pop back up. And if you try to get back in, we're going to do it again. Going to do it again. Yeah, I'm not going to let the Nasdaq grab me by the hand tonight. I'm going to bed. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get this target hit. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Mm. Okay. But all right, guys. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me. We'll see what happens with this position. We'll see. I mean, we did have a big move down. We do have a double bottom right there, and we do have price somewhat kind of breaking. Well, not necessarily breaking structure, not just yet, but we have the bulls, we have the bears failing to take out that low, at least for right now. So I feel comfortable. I feel confident in this trade. I feel confident. So we're going to leave it running overnight. He said there's a connection setting in NinjaTrader 8. But all right, guys. Again, I do appreciate everybody that joined me tonight. I will definitely come back tomorrow morning, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody, and keep on jabbing.